Not heard the Bill Watch sounder. So there's no way he could be back. But 1126 Fourier. You can get us on Twitter at Gresh Fourier, WEEI. You can get me on all the social media platforms at The Real Gresh, TikTok, all that whatnot. At Christian Fourier for Fourier on Twitter. Good luck on Instagram. His wife will get the message.
Yeah, she'll tell me.
She'll tell you. If you
tried to log in again yesterday, I still couldn't do it.
I'm telling you, we just have to get you like one only for the show that we can send you stuff that you can then watch on your phone.
I was on it, and I feel like if you don't go on it a lot, it just naturally kicks you off and makes you reset your password.
Yeah, well, here's the like. There's stuff that my man Nelson and I will send back and forth all day, and I'd love to be able to send them to you, but you can't open Instagram
I know.
funnies.
It drives me crazy.
Can we just?
I'm gonna. This is my thing. Hold me, write it down.
Nick, it's making the list.
Yep.
Just like the
Nick, the sticky note or the notepad?
Oh no, the notepad. It's just like the Friday Fourier Music Fest that was supposed to happen week 1, and we're a year later, and we're still waiting.
Terp's fault again.
Oh, Terp's fault. That's right. That was the Terp era of Gresh and Fourier.
It was not my fault either. You forgot about it 2 weeks in.
Yeah,
I just was using it as to kickstart you into doing it on your own. I was guiding you,
off.
and eventually I need to leave your. It's like teaching you how to ride a bike, Terp. Eventually, you look back. I'm not there holding the back of the seat.
You know what, Terp? You are Vidarian Lowe, and he is Trent Brown. He's
great.
doing it for you.
Yes.
He's doing it to make you better. Yeah.
Now you know what I mean.
Now we go. Yeah, exactly.
Hey, you know what, Terp? Listen, you go ahead and keep doing it on your own now.
That's right.
You're on a roll right now.
Any empathy or connectivity or change of thought from Trent Brown now that you heard from him, as the great Paul Harvey would say, the rest of the story?
No, I mean, I'd be a jerk if I didn't recognize that there are some legit, tough obstacles to deal with when you get sick. You get strep throat.
And I feel like Billy Landy when you're like, I'd be a jerk. And
no, that's something totally different. Miss you, Billy, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
We'll see him soon. I mean, yeah, that's those are real, but it doesn't take away his overall, in my opinion, general just, way of life.
Here's what it is. If you have to motivate the guy to play, then you really have to question if you want him on the roster. And the reason Trent Brown keeps getting jobs is because, as you mentioned, he's 30 years old and he's close to a Planet player. There are others that are like Trent Brown, but if Trent Brown is fully motivated and engaged, I think you have one of the 3 to 5 best tackles in football on that side.
Yeah, when he plays,
can be
he's
that good.
No,
yeah.
I mean, it's obvious. Like, the Raiders made him one of the highest paid tackles at the time in the history of the NFL.
Mike Mayock.
Yeah, because he popped, and then the Patriots brought him back because they obviously were like, oh, okay, he can play with us.
Oh, you got me on that Mayock one.
That's his thing. Who was the player he was talking about?
Oh,
quarterback.
I can't.
Quarterback for the Patriots.
Oh, not
it didn't last
Stidham.
long. No, it wasn't Stidham. God, tall guy from Arkansas.
Oh,
Mallet.
Yeah, Ryan Mallet. There you go.
Ryan Mallet popped. Yeah. So, man, I don't know. Like, he ain't gonna be here. Somebody else will take a chance on him because they'll be desperate.
Hold on.
Uh-oh. Breaking news?
You really sure he's not going to be here?
Go ahead. Why would he be here?
I mean, if
I'm a no all day.
If Bilton Hoodstein stays here, is there the chance that he dips back in?
No.
Again, only because he would be cheaper than Onwenu, and when properly motivated, the guy's really damn good.
Listen to what you're saying.
I understand.
He's not cheap. Like, somebody else will offer him more money.
But not Onwenu money.
And what about the whole line about, we played the guys that wanted to play when they asked him?
Belichick, yeah.
Isn't that's about as close to this guy's letting us down as Bill can get close to?
I got it.
So, no, the answer is hell no. Not a chance in hell.
Activate the players who want to play.
That's it. I mean, come on. That's enough. He's not going to be here.
Yeah, it should.
Now, maybe Josh McDaniels, if he's the head coach.
Well, and that's what I was going to say. There's so much craziness going on. That's why I don't completely rule anything out. But it is interesting that Trent Brown is getting his side of the story out there. For those of you who did consume the product last night, I know that the Celtics were on, and then the Bruins were on early as well. Or, sorry, late. The Bruins were on during this game is what I meant to say. But Michigan completes the mission and wins the national championship 34-13. I was on Michigan in the under for some money, which was good. So Michigan in the under hit. Two things stood out in this game. Number one, Washington was way overmatched. And number two is this was it for Jim Harbaugh. There's no way you go back now. And I know that we had talked about how Jim Harbaugh had hired Don Yee. That's a pro agent. He'll understand the NFL game. I don't know who the representation was for Harbaugh before him, but Don Yee deals pretty much exclusively in NFL circles. He might represent some coaches on the high end of college football, but you know what I mean. There is no reason now for Jim Harbaugh to go back. They smacked Washington. They clearly established their dominance, and there is no better chance for this guy to kind of cash in his chips and go get paid $17.5 million a year by somebody to maybe run a whole damn organization.
I 100% agree with you. And let me see what we got here. So, yeah, because obviously he wins the national championship. Does all the post game interviews. He did a lot of interviews yesterday.
He did more than tour.
More than I think most people do. Like, it's just crazy. Like, anyone would put him, like, he sat and he talked. Maybe he wanted to drink it all in. And I want to play you a piece of audio.
Oh, please
okay?
Do. Yeah,
because and I just want to get your opinion because before I give you mine. And this is I don't know who he was actually talking to, but this
Scott Van Pelt.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Scott.
This was after the game. SVP.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Perfect. So here's Harbaugh talking about spring practice.
Told him 3 or 4 days ago we're moving spring practice back. We usually start on Valentine's Day, February 14th, because we love football. But this year we're going to move it back. We're going to move it back about a month. That'll be good too. We'll have some nice weather in the spring in Ann Arbor.
Okay, so you're thinking about the spring in Ann Arbor. All right.
Okay, Gresh. So was that Harbaugh indirectly announcing his plans to stay at Michigan, or was he just full of crap?
Hell no. That's his plan. That's not the plan of the guy who's going to be in the chair in about 2 weeks. Oh, no. This was, I think Jim Harbaugh, from the optics standpoint, as you'd mentioned, let's remember the guy was suspended for 3 weeks, going into or including the Ohio State game? It was including Ohio State. So then you had to wait until January 1st or whatever it was for the bowl. So he didn't talk really. I mean, there was a time where it felt like you didn't see Harbaugh for 2 months, but you heard all about him.
Suspensions, because there was a self-imposed one.
Oh, the one early in the year. Yeah, that's right. Well, they were playing Mesopotamia State and, Eastern Michigan, so it didn't really matter then. But when you're playing Ohio State and the coach ain't there, it kind of stands out a little more. But, he did the media tour yesterday to show, hey, it's like what I encouraged with Belichick. Hey, I'm a human being, right? I'm just a guy, man. You might think I'm a little nutty. Yeah, I might wear my khaki pants a little too high and, I'm running around with my family and we're all screaming about God and all this kind of stuff, but I love football. And I want you to know I love football and I'm going to come run your organization. Yeah. And if you think I'm nutty, you might be right, but I'm nutty enough just for you, L.A. Chargers or Carolina. Yeah. That's you heard that from Magic right there? That's what Jim Harbaugh really should have been saying last night. Spring ball.
I'm not gonna be here.
I'm not gonna be here. I don't care.
Yeah, I looked at it, I was like, this dude is he's just staying in character. He's just going to stay in character. He's not going to give it up until the very end.
Like he's Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
When I die, when they give they give a speech at the church, I just want them to end it with, he's a Michigan man, which I do believe, So, no, he is gone. He is done. He's leaving. There's not a chance in hell. So you're not going to, hey, we just talked about it last week. We're gonna start spring ball on February 14th. The weather will be nicer. All the guys give him a break because we did have a long season, and I need a break also. Not a chance. He is gone. And even when he was saying that, I can almost see like twinkle in his eye about how he thinks he's pulling one over on Scott Van Pelt. And Scott Van Pelt's like, oh. And he didn't directly say, oh, so that means you're staying. And Michigan's coach, he's like, oh, so you're already talking about spring ball. Okay, good. So spring ball is already on your calendar. Good to know.
Okay, so you're thinking about the spring in Ann Arbor. All right.
Yeah, there you go. All right. Well, good. Well, then in the spring in the NFL, you're just talking about the draft.
And what he's really thinking about is, all right, I can get my old lady and the kids out of the house by end of February. And, the kids will have break in March. So then we can move them all out to California or whatever, or wherever he's going to end up. I mean, it's just trending like Harbaugh will end up somewhere in the pros very, very soon. And one of the luxuries of hiring Harbaugh is that you're under no sort of NFL protocol in terms of interviews. It's someone from the outside. Now, meaning you still have to interview other candidates, but if you know you're going to... Yeah. So you can, again, sham interviews and then just turn around and hire the guy you want. In Jim Harbaugh, you don't have to worry about the NFL rules of, well, this team's in a wild card round. You can only talk to him over Zoom. You can only do this. No. Get Harbaugh in the door first. Let him go hire all the assistants that he wants. And he's got some guys on. One of my former coaches on staff in Michigan, Mike Mallory, whose son Will is in the NFL. Mike Mallory was a special teams coach in the NFL or an assistant special teams coach in like New Orleans and Denver and Jacksonville. Harbaugh's got guys on staff that'll be like, hey, come on, you guys know the league. Come make some money. Like Mallory's 61. He's like Harbaugh. Come on, here's your retirement fund. Come with me to L.A. or wherever in the world it is. So that guy's going to fill a staff, you would think, pretty quickly. Michael Penix did not play well at all.
Yeah, were you kind of like, did you kind of, like fall in love with him after he played, what was it, Texas?
It was Texas.
Yeah, it was Texas, right?
I was impressed with some of the throws that he made. He made some throws with confidence, but last night he airmailed 3 balls that should have easily been touchdowns. Airmailed them. And in the Texas game, Michael Penix didn't look rickety. Last night, I thought he looked rickety, like he was about to break down or fall down or his legs were just going to collapse or whatever.
Well, number one defense in college football was the same group of defense that would sack like Jalen Milroe, quarterback for Alabama, like 7 times.
Michigan is pro-level big.
They are. I'm telling you.
A 340-pound D tackle who does not look like a 340-pound D tackle should look.
It is amazing. If you go on enough football fields, college football fields, if you actually walk onto the turf or on the grass before the game, you immediately, if you can recognize it, if you're used to seeing the difference, you look at Michigan and you go, you're right. That's the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, that's pro size.
They're thick, they're strong, and they just look powerful as opposed to thin, narrow, smaller. You can just tell, they don't have great balance. These guys are moving everybody around, and they're just listen. They won that Joe Moore. I think it's Joe Moore Award with the best offensive line.
Yeah, the Joe Moore Award.
Yeah, and I think Washington's offensive line won it this year.
No, their O line was pretty good, but Michigan's got some dudes, to say the least.
Yeah, and Washington's got some dudes. He's one of those quarterbacks that he's obviously got talent.
Yeah,
but his surrounding talent is next level good.
He's got a pro tight end. He's got probably 1 or 2 pro offensive linemen, and he's got first or high second round type wide receivers. Does Michael Penix. Here's the other problem with Penix too. After a performance like that, now you're going to get he'll be 24 by the time he's drafted. And you know what? It's Malik Cunningham all over again. You like him. Now, Malik was a move guy. I understand it. And Penix is a much more accomplished passer. Okay, I understand. But in terms of are we really going to build around a 24-year-old quarterback? I kind of feel like with Penix, he's almost at the ceiling. There's a little room to grow, but given his age, he kind of is what he is at this point.
No, I mean, maybe. Maybe, but that's what you're getting because of COVID. You still have 2 more years of kids who entered college in 2020 was their freshman year because my son is one. Yep. You still have 2 more years of older kids coming out in the draft. This will be the first time ever where the average age will be higher than it's ever been because One, they all got an extra year. So even a 5-year normal stint after a 1-year redshirt, now you have 6. You have 6 years, and their ability to, well, I didn't play very well. I'm just going to transfer. Okay, well, now I played better. Now I'm going to get more exposure. I'm going to go again. I'm going to get some money. Everyone's going to come out older. The days of and then it'll go back to normal.
Yeah, we're almost back to normal now.
You got 2 more years.
I think that's why you will see some teams in the lower part of the first round draft for need if there is a player that is already kind of formed, you know what I mean, where maybe there isn't a big ceiling. But I know I can bring them in and they can pretty much play right away. I think it's sort of altered some draft strategies a little bit. To me, that was Cole Strange. Everybody made a big deal about the whole FCS and da-da-da. Guy started as a rookie because he was a 6-year guy. And that was one of the things that, yes, he was a little older, but you were getting a guy in theory who would come in and be able to play right away. So you're right. There's the sliding scale of, am I going to get a younger quarterback that I know I could develop? Or am I going to get a guy that's pretty close? Maybe he's got a little room to grow, but I got to start winning right now. You know, if Arthur Smith stayed in Atlanta, I could see maybe somebody like Penix being a factor for them. But, you know, to hell with it now.